Morning, everybody. Dan Gresham here inside the abode as we are getting into this Wednesday morning. Hope it finds you well. You know why there's a tight shot like this? Because I don't want to see what's going on around me. We have a lot going on this morning, a lot of different crafts. This is kind of a little broadcast studio, but at the same time, it's also the art studio in my house. Plus, all the grandkids are here today. So you may be hearing some dogs and barking and kids shouting in the other room. But it's just another day at the Gresham Hacienda. We like it this way. A little bit of confusion makes life a whole lot more fun. I want to invite you to be part of the program this morning here on Facebook. It's really easy. It's just like making a comment for any other Facebook post. All you have to do, go down the bottom, tell us where you're watching, say good morning, tell me what's on your mind. I can see what you post up, and then I can respond to it. And at the same time, you can kind of give me some things you think need to be talked about in our community. Let me just show you. See, Nicole Kelly is already up with us this morning. Hi, Nicole. Also, Kim Artis. She is at work right now. Kim, I won't tell anybody if you won't that you're watching at work this morning. And by the way, Nicole Kelly is in Kirbyville, where she's watching from. Nina's up this morning. Hi, Nina. I think things are probably plenty of sunshine, right? They're in Mauriceville. David is here this morning. How about them? Are you at that point, David? I know you're a Cowboy fan. Or is it kind of like pinch me? Like, you don't want to know if it's really going to wake up from this Dallas Cowboy dream that, things are going well. Don't do anything to jinx it. Don't say anything. And how about those Astros? While we're talking sports for a second, I began to wonder if it was going to happen after Game 3. You thought, oh man, is this really going to be hard to for them to wrap this series up? No, it wasn't much of a problem yesterday in Chicago. But maybe we need to thank the White Sox for making those accusations that they were stealing signs. Kind of, let's face it, they were calling them cheaters essentially, and I think that was a little fuel to the fire. But at the same time, I kind of think the Astros like it. I think they like people to cast them that way, because then they just have something else to prove. And boy, did they go out and prove it yesterday. So they become the fifth or third team to win 5 consecutive years and make it into the American League Championship Series. We'll see if they can win it all and then go on to the World Series. That will start on Friday, Minute Maid Park. I've been to a number of playoff games, but if you have not been, I would suggest if there's any way you can get tickets, go. It's such a unique experience because for one thing, it's the auditory, the sound that's going on. When you get into Minute Maid and you're just wrapped around people, thousands of them, it just reverberates inside the stadium. Now, if you have an issue with the idea of, you don't want to be around that many people, you're still COVID conscious, I get it. That's the beauty of being able to watch it from home, right? For sure. Let's say good morning to Tom up in Frankfort, Illinois. Hi, Tom. Hope things are well there. Also, Carol is watching this morning. They're in Elkhart as we get the day started. A few things we want to touch on this morning that I'm going to cut you loose, let you do what you need to do. And again, I do appreciate your taking just a time, if you will, to hit us with a like. Maybe we'll get the algorithms going and we can kind of reach out to a few more people, whether it's on Facebook or we also do this on YouTube, where we just take time from home. It's a very casual look at what's going on in your headlines. And this morning, I want to go to KFDM.com. I would talk to you about the weather, but the reality is not much to talk about in the weather. It's just going to be another hot, sticky day. But know this, things are changing as we head for the weekend. We're talking about some cooler temperatures coming with the cold front. And when I say cooler, I'm talking about mid-50s to start, upper 70s for the high. Governor Abbott in Beaumont last night for the chamber annual meeting. And the venue at the Civic Center playing host. And the governor was the keynote speaker. If you want to know more about what happened last night, go and watch the story there at KFDM.com. The governor talking about not only vaccine mandates, but also talking about the economy in Texas. I'm sure I wasn't there, but I would sure if he didn't address it, somebody probably asked also about the abortion bill, which is now not just a Texas discussion point, but a national discussion point as well. Also this morning, remember the story about the suspect that shot the would-be robber in Port Arthur? Well, that moved forward. Port Arthur police arresting the robbery suspect who was shot by the citizen who intervened at that church's back on the 1st of October. Desmond Ingram, the 33 years old, taken into custody by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Warrant Office on Friday. During the robbery, he was shot multiple times, hospitalized for his injuries. You might remember the other suspect, Ricardo Gaillard, was killed during that robbery. Again, no charges have been filed against the citizen. And as far as I know, they have made no statements further about the citizen who was involved and who did open fire on those two robbery suspects, killing one of them. Also this morning, big story for folks here in Southeast Texas. United Steelworkers and ExxonMobil, of course, have been sideways for months now as ExxonMobil locked out about 650 ExxonMobil workers who were members of the USW Local 13243. It's been going on for 6 months. There's no doubt it has been very, very hard on those who have been out, who've been locked out. And it's also, I'm sure, been hard on the union, as I'm sure it's been difficult for ExxonMobil because you're trying to change scheduling. You're trying to work without 650 people who are part of your operation. But the latest news on this is that the leadership of USW Local deciding that they are going to put the latest contract proposal to a vote of the membership. Originally, the union leaders had said there were too many deficiencies, there were too many problems, it didn't address several issues they wanted, which was job promotion, job security, job safety. ExxonMobil had come back and said, USW, you're just being short-sighted. You're the ones that are creating the problems here. You're making your members suffer. Some of those members of the union got a petition together, got enough names on that petition to take it to the National Labor Relations Board to seek a decertification of the union. Well, that vote was scheduled, and now a day later, the union has decided that instead of just dealing with the decertification, they would go ahead and put it up for a vote as well. That is expected to take place on October the 19th. 3 different times, as you can see there, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m., so that it can accommodate the different time schedules for its members. Certainly a story everyone will be watching. The thing about this story is, unless you're one of the 650, or if you work at ExxonMobil, a lot of people out of sight, out of mind, just don't even realize it's going on. But indeed, there are a lot of folks who have been without a job, without work, and are struggling. So it'll be interesting to follow and see what comes out of this. All right, one last story for you this morning, and I'll get out of your way. And this one is just, remember the pig stand? Hopefully you do. The pig stand was kind of the iconic drive-in here in Southeast Texas. When I first came to town, there were 2 pig stands, and then there was 1 pig stand. And everyone went to. It was the place to go. After people would go out, dancing at night, you would go to the pig stand. I always went to the one on College, and we would go in. It'd be late at night. They were 24 hours. It was always happening at the pig stand. You'd get a pig sandwich, but they disappeared. The last one here closed. Gosh, it's been a long time. What? I don't off the top of my head, 10 years, and it's now been replaced. But I bring it up because apparently this is Texas Monthly, and it's talking about. I love the way they address this. They call it the Pig's Last Stand. America's first drive-in celebrates 100 years, but unfortunately, there aren't too many of the pig stands left to celebrate. Right? This is a really good story. You can go and find it. Talks about the anniversary It talks about the first pig stand popping up in 1921 in Dallas, calling it America's first drive-in, where you could pull up and you could be waited on in your car. And now, as far as I know, I want to say there's only one pig stand left. And I want to say it's the one in San Antonio. I might be wrong. You can certainly find out by going and checking out the story. I just thought I'd bring it to your attention this morning because, again, so many people in Southeast Texas have some pretty fond memories of going to the pig stand, whether it was going to eat or if it was going to meet somebody or meet up with somebody, or, the old timers always talk about they would drive around the pig stand just to see who was there. Again, you can check out the story. It's in great depth. That's at Texas Monthly. Always like to give credit. The byline goes to Leah Conzeal, all right, in Texas Monthly, The Pig's Last Stand, if you're looking for some reading material on this Wednesday. That pretty much does it for me this morning. Hope you have great plans for the day. If you're going to get out and do something, don't forget, you can always catch up on what's going on in your community by checking out Facebook, KFDM News. You can also find me on Twitter, Morning TV Dan. And of course, on YouTube, we have a channel you can subscribe and you can watch these updates on YouTube as well. It's YouTube at Dan's at Home. Enjoy the time with you this morning. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow morning. You go out and make it a terrific day.